Wiley is absent. Miss Alexander.
Here.
Miss Martins is absent. Miss Scott.
Here.
Mr. McNeil.
Here.
Mr. Graves.
Here.
And Mr. Champy.
There being a quorum present, this meeting is now declared open. At this time, I'll ask for a motion for the approval of the minutes from February 1st and February the 15th. May I have a motion and a second?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the minute meetings of February 1st, 2023 and February 15th, 2023 be approved as written and dispense with their reading.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sal, this mic isn't working again. It wasn't on the whole time.
That's all right.
There you go, thank you. Mr. Manguso, are there any communications at this time?
There are no communications, Mr. Chairman.
Hearing none. Our first order of business this evening is the approval of the resolution for calendar number 3411, Boterra Union LLC, located at 2290 Route 22 East, Block 3202, Lot 17, Cannabis Dispensary. You've all had a chance to read the resolution. Are there any board members who would like to comment, make changes or modifications to the resolution as written? Hearing none, may I have a motion and a second?
Mr. Chairman, I move that the board adopt the resolution as written and is accurately memorializing the previous findings of the board.
Second.
Roll call.
Mr. Johnson.
Yes.
Miss Alexander.
Yes.
Miss Scott.
Yes.
Mr. Graves.
Yes.
Mr. Champy.
Yes. Our next order of business is calendar number 3412, Jorge and Olga Diaz, located at 1047 Warren Avenue, Block 2313, Lot 30, construction of a new garage with insufficient setbacks. Mr. Diaz, would you like to come forward? Would you step up to the mic and introduce yourself, please?
My father or myself?
Yourself.
Okay.
Just identify yourself for the record by name, if you could.
Okay, my name is Carol Diaz, and I am the daughter of Jorge Diaz and Olga Diaz.
It's Carol Diaz, C-A-R-O-L.
C-A-R-O-L, yes.
Okay, and who is with you?
My father, Jorge Diaz, and my mother, Olga Diaz.
And just for the record, your mother and father are the applicants, correct?
Oh, I'm sorry, I wasn't sure where the voice was coming
Oh, I'm sorry. You can move that chair a
I'm
little.
sorry, I'm looking around and
Move it to the right, Bob.
I'm so sorry. Could you repeat that, please? Thank you.
There you go. I'm Rob Panzula, the board attorney. I'm just doing some housekeeping. Your mother and father are the applicants, right? The owners of the property?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so they filed this application. Can I ask all three of you just to stand up? We'll do this all at once. Just raise your right hands, all of you, and swear or affirm that the testimony you're going to provide is the truth and the whole truth.
Ms. Diaz?
Yes, I do.
Okay, so noted for the record. Okay, Ms. Diaz, you're going to be the you're not an attorney, right? You're just helping them out as a family member. Okay,
Well, no, I'm not. I'm just translating and,
that's fine.
yeah, support.
Just confirm for the record that you're authorized to speak on your parents' behalf tonight for the application.
Yes.
Okay. Do you know why you're here? I mean, just give the board a summary of the application as it was submitted. And just for the record, I marked A1, the application as it was submitted. That includes the survey, the photographs, the sketch that was done, and all the details about what occurred. So why don't you just, in your own words, just give the board the benefit of a summary of what's in the application materials.
Okay, so in September of 2021, my father's garage was unintentionally caught on fire. And I believe it was April of '22, my father applied for the permit to demo and rebuild the garage. And there was, I believe, the approval, it was approved with the remark that said to replace roof only and keep the walls, because there's an existing non-conforming variance, yeah. So the permit was issued June 1st, the number's 22-1015, for building, electrical, and demolition. So I think during the construction, during the demo and reconstruction, the walls were not stable enough, or I don't know, there was some confusion with that, and yes. And here we are.
Just for the record, the survey and the materials accurately depicts the location of the garage as you're rebuilding it?
Yes.
Is it going on the same foundation as existed, or has it changed?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so the setbacks that you're seeking relief from the board were the same as it was before the fire destroyed
Yes,
the
yes.
garage? Mm-hmm. And just for the record, that's the rear yard the requirement is 3 feet. You're proposing less than a half a foot, 0.4.
Is that right? Could you say that one more
The
time?
rear yard is supposed to be 3 feet, and what's proposed is less than a half a foot.
Que tiene que ser 3
Yeah.
feet, pero que es 1.5.
Yeah,
Del rear, detrás de la casa. ¿Es así?
Yeah.
Yes,
And for the side yard, the requirement was 3 feet, and what's proposed is 2 feet.
Yeah.
the side.
Okay, to explain, I did the walls in exactly place where all walls were constructed before.
Okay?
When they
And
built the
finally,
garage originally.
yeah, that's fine. And the distance between the structure, the main structure and the garage, the separation should be 10 feet, and 8 feet is proposed.
Yes.
Okay. So those are the variances at issue. It's being put back where it existed. Did you have any discussions with any of your neighbors or any other property owners?
I sent out the certified mail, letting them know.
Right, we note that for the record. You satisfied the obligations under
Yes.
the law to notice your neighbors.
Yep.
You didn't get any feedback from anybody, any problems or concerns
No.
that any neighbors would have? Because obviously nobody's here tonight, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, well, when we got here and we saw the cars, we were like,
We did as well. Now, the color photographs that you have in the back part of the application, can you just, that is the construction as it's happening? Just give us a timeline on that. That's the way it looks
Okay.
now, or is he completed, or what's?
so yes, this is what it looks like now, these photos here.
Yeah, it's
This
part of
is-
A1.
Yes, this is what it is now.
Okay. And you realize that this is just pertinent to the garage. It's a single-family use that you have in the property. That's
Yes.
going to continue. There's no additional apartments, no additional
No.
living space. It's strictly a detached garage being
Strict-
rebuilt.
Yes, due to the fire damage.
Okay. Okay, do you have any other witnesses or anything? I mean, I authenticated what you submitted, so that's part of the record. So the board has that, they reviewed it. They may have some questions of you. If not, do you have any other witnesses or anything, or you covered it? You've covered it nicely.
I think so.
At this time, are there any board members that would like to question Ms. Diaz? Hearing none. Ms. Alexander? do you-
Oh, I think you did a very good job, and I have no questions, and I'll be voting yes on your application.
Just for the
thank
record,
you.
Mr. Chairman, just make the announcement for public. I realize that it doesn't appear anybody's
I
here,
will.
but we should get it into the
I
record.
was just going to do that.
Sorry, I went out of turn.
Are there any members of the public that would like to question this witness? Hearing none, before we conference this, are there any board members that would like to make a comment on the application? Hearing none, are there any members of the public that would like to make a comment on this application? Hearing none, at this time, we can conference this. Mr. Johnson, would you like to begin?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Since this is a an existing foundation for the garage, and in viewing the neighborhood, all the other garages in their immediate neighborhood are exactly the same, I'll be voting yes on this application since they did a fine job in presenting it to us.
Mr. McNeil?
I would agree that it's a very simple application. I do want to congratulate your daughter for representing you aptly on this application, and I do intend to vote yes.
Mr. Graves?
I would also like to say, the young Miss Diaz, your parents should be very proud of you. So it must be like doing a school report or something like that, or graduate school, whatever. But I want to say you did a good job, and I tend to vote yes.
Ms. Scott?
Yes, I concur. You did an excellent job.
Thank you.
Yeah, your parents should be proud of you. Yeah. Good job. I will also be voting yes on your application.
And Ms. Alexander?
Once again, I'll be voting yes. Very good job.
Thank you.
As for myself, since Mr. Diaz is maintaining the same footprint, I see absolutely no problem with this application. Rebuilding the garage will not have a negative impact on his property or the neighboring properties. So I, too, will vote yes, and Ms. Diaz, you did do an excellent job.
Thank you.
At this time, can we have a roll call?
Mr. Chairman.
Oh, excuse me. Can we have a motion and a second?
Right. Mr. Chairman, I move that the board grant the variances applicable to this application and that council is directed to prepare a resolution consistent with the board's decision.
McNeil, second.
Now, can we have a roll call?
Ms. Alexander,
Yes.
Ms. Scott,
Yes.
Mr. McNeil,
Yes.
Mr. Johnson,
Yes.
Mr. Graves,
Yes.
and Mr. Champy.
Yes.
Just for the applicant's benefit, the board will pass a resolution at the March 8th meeting memorializing. You're to work through the building department to continue with the work. You just have to satisfy any conditions in the resolution. You can continue to do what you're doing, but
Can I have a motion to adjourn?
Mr. Chairman, there being no further business coming before the board this evening, I move we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
So moved.